What the hell are you doing?
Dancing. That's a lively tune.
What are you wearing? Do you have like cologne on or something?
Yeah, I do. I've got Old Spice going.
You got old. It's really Old Spice.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh my God, that's rank. Hi.
Nice. Hi.
Welcome to Now What?
Yeah. Now what?
Oh, come on, man. That's why we call the show Now What, because the whole year is just Now What. But you look very festive.
It's one thing after the other in this world.
Yep. You look very festive, my friend.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to meeting our second guest tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You gave me heck because I wasn't wearing a Christmas sweater in anticipation of Santa's visit.
Sure.
I will put it on for the interview, but I said I counterpointed you by saying, you have a Christmas sweater. I have a Christmas face. Beat that.
You have a face for radio.
No, I have a Santa face, but not like the real Santa. So there you go. But I am wearing Elvis Presley. Look at that.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Yep.
How long did it take you to grow that beard?
Almost
a year, right?
Well, I always, even when I don't have the beard, this is going to sound stupid. When I don't have a beard, I have a beard. I don't like a clean face. I like a little scruff. And then my granddaughter, Eleanor Danger Youngberg, asked me last year.
Her name is really Danger. Her middle name is really Danger.
It is.
That is the most awesome child on the planet.
You got that right. She knows all 5 Three Stooges, and she loves Kiss and Elvis Presley and the Beatles. So anyways, let me get back to my story. She said, Papa. I said, yes, child. She said, could you grow a real Santa beard for next Christmas? I go, you betcha. You don't say no to a 4-year-old. So I grew it. And forgetting how hot Winnipeg summers get, what a treat this is. And so I'm going to grow it. I'm going to have it till Christmas. Then I'm going to take it off. And then I'm going to start it again for next year. I'm going to have a clean face for a little while because I'm the Kurt Russell from the Santa Chronicles.
Yeah, that was such a... If you have not seen the Christmas Chronicles,
yes,
watch them. The second one's out now too on Netflix. They're 2 years apart.
Goldie Hawn is Mrs. Scott. So cool.
Yes.
But Kurt Russell's so cool that he's not fat, and he always makes fun of that in the movie, saying, "Why did they make me look fat?"
Billboards put on 80 pounds.
That's right. That's what those line he said. Yeah. So I'm actually getting the suit from the movie, and I will be having that for next year. It will come here in time for this year. So.
No, but the reason I ask you is how long it took you to grow that.
A year.
Is because 4 weeks ago I shaved myself bald.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
and I'm catching up to you. So I've come to the conclusion my parents lied to me.
No. Let me cut you off the knees right now, which are right there.
With
a beard, would you shush? With a beard, it grows and stops. It just doesn't keep growing. You reach a point and it won't go any further.
I realize that.
Unless because you trim it, you got to make it look good. You just can't have this scraggly, I live under a bridge and eat government cheese out of a can.
But dude, if you blink hard enough, you can actually see it growing like stop time-lapse photography.
That's true.
But I think my parents lied to me. I
Did your mother have a beard?
I think I'm half Chia Pet.
You are. They should make a thing. It's not even called. It's marked. Yeah, my mom had a good beard. That's where I get it from.
Oh, our first comment of the night, James Newham. Kurt Russell is the coolest Santa
Yes,
ever.
James. James is my brother from another mother. Love you, buddy.
He is honestly my favorite Santa. It's my favorite Christmas movie.
Well, I got the
look.
I got the hair. I'm gonna grow my hair down to about here, actually. And so, if my dad's watching, which he's not, too bad, Dad.
So, but before we have Santa, we have some very important and wonderful people on tonight.
You know what? You are right. And these folks do great work. And anybody living with cancer, the Never Alone Foundation, great people.
What's going wrong here?
Okay, that's all. I'll talk.
Earlier,
when I was 8,
the music was playing over top of us.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it because, of course, I can't hear it.
What is this thing?
You gave that to me to fill for the doctor.
It's like you already did.
So
don't make me bring out the snowman.
It's from your crazy glue, dude.
Don't make me. Are we ready with our guest?
Yeah, we're ready for our guest.
All right.
I was just looking for the.
What?
Here it is. So we are going to be talking to two wonderful people, members of the Never Alone Foundation. We've got Michael, I hope I'm saying your name right, Schaefer, and Lori Fisher. Schaefer?
That's all right. Schaefer.
There, way to screw it up.
Hello, everyone.
You know what? I've only known.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
So how many times did the music play over us while we were talking?
Pretty much the whole time.
All the way through.
Who are you asking?
They both froze. I think they're both embarrassed.
Was the
No,
music
we're not
playing while
frozen.
we were talking?
No, once or twice, I think.
Oh.
What's happening with Laurie? Is he like tongue-tied? Every time he opens his
No,
mouth, he freezes. And no,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh,
I'm here.
now I can hear you. I didn't.
Okay.
Did the music actually play?
don't worry about it. Let's go.
Is Mike actually looking at us, or is he frozen?
No, I'm looking at you.
Oh, there.
He just
All
looks
right,
frozen. He's frozen
Can
from
we
time to
stop
time.
this ping pong of
So, 2020. What a year, eh?
It's been a challenge for everyone, I think.
So how is the how has it been for you guys? You're one of many wonderful foundations that help people with cancer, but specifically you guys, how have you guys been able to deal with the onset of restrictions and
the
everything else?
fundraising and how does that work
Yeah.
now? Because it's tough now. You can't have the luncheons, which your luncheon was a great event. And it made so many more people aware and raised a lot of money. How are you now trying to navigate this and bring in the much needed funds and get the word out, basically?
Very good question, John. So the issue is really we're so in that transition stage right now. So there were a lot of events we just had to postpone this year. Luckily, we were able to do a dog walk and raise a ton of money, which was super fantastic. We did a really small golf tournament, and that's just going to be bigger next year because you can do those ones socially distanced, right? Other than that, what we did was just have to ask people for donations and get Laurie to talk about what he's doing to help raise funds for the Never Alone Cancer Foundation. We had to write some grants and, of course, tapped into the government subsidy programs. So that's kind of kept us going. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears really this year. You just can't quit, though. We have patients calling us every day. I think we're going to clock in at over 300 people. That's a lot of people every single day that are calling us.
Now, I don't mean, I just want to throw this question out there. For those of us, we have viewers in the States, we have people across the big pond who don't know about the Never Alone Foundation. I should have started with this question. I've only had 11 years experience on TV interviewing. You think I would have known this?
I was going to get there.
All right, fine. The Never Alone Foundation is exactly what?
Well, I'll put it real simple. We try to improve the lives of people affected by cancer. Now, that's a big bucket, right? We're talking emotional support, social support. What does that mean? It's bringing the community together out for like ball games, hockey games. You got to interact. You got to keep your spirits up. We do financial help. And that's not just for the patients, that's for caregivers and families. So sometimes, you have a patient that doesn't want to talk to anybody, but there is a spouse or a family member who's really having a hard time. Well, they can call us. Maybe we can connect them with somebody else. Maybe we can provide them that little bit of help, a break. They're the ones that are having the stress about how to pay for parking here in Manitoba, the transportation to Winnipeg if they're rural. So we'll actually just work with that family member. So not, it helps the patient, but we're talking the collective, right? It just doesn't affect that person. It really does spread, and we want to make sure that we're helping everybody we can.
I was just saying, I add a little bit to what Michael's saying, because I used to be a sponsor for many years. I believed in the foundation. I knew what it was doing to help cancer patients and their families. And 2.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. So now, instead of being a sponsor, I'm now on the inside looking out. And so I've seen it from both points of view, and it's an incredible organization that, like a lot of other charities right now, is definitely having challenges to have to cancel all their major fundraising. But it is a really wonderful organization, and I can speak on behalf of all the cancer warriors, because they reach out and they touch an awful lot of us, and they do a great job. And it was started, as you know, by Lyle Bauer, And,
Of
you
course,
know,
yeah.
and of course, Michael does a tremendous job as the executive director. Anyway, I wanted to throw that in just because I think it's important for people to see that they do a lot for a lot of people.
Well, that's fine. That's well, you brought up a good point in dealing with fundraising and whatnot. The money goes to various areas of helping folks with cancer. What would be the main, like, is it research? Is it just funding the people that
Right.
just walk you through the whole journey?
Well, so the key is that it's not research. It's about immediate help now. I'd call it, we direct our resources through logic, reason, and compassion, right? So you want to look at somebody's challenge and then think of a real common sense way to solve that issue. So I can't afford to get to my chemo treatment. Why? I don't have a car. I don't want to take a bus. I have to take a cab. How do I afford that? I can get to the hospital. I can't pay for parking. Let me help you with that. Hey, I don't know where to get this resource. Let's say I'm not happy with the wig that was offered through Cancer Care. What can I do? What are some different ways for me to maybe get what I need today? I'm still working on this, but somebody just can't get the medication they need, so they're in pain right now. They probably only have 8 weeks to live.
Yeah.
So we're just working with social workers. We're working with the drugstore, and we're going to figure out how to make sure that they don't have to go living the remaining weeks of their life in pain. So you're constantly just problem solving, and that's why I use this logic and reason. It's just common sense solutions. If you've fallen through the gaps, we're going to try to figure out how to get there. Here's the crazy one, really, and I love it because it speaks about how people want to celebrate their lives. But I had a gentleman call, and he just said, can you help me turn my coffin into a piece of Lego? So, and you're like, hey, this is a crazy, fantastic idea, right? Because he wants to leave a legacy to all the people that are going to be missing him, right? And what a great way to encourage the laughs and the memories. And a few phone calls, we found somebody willing with the family, and $300 was a magic number to make all this happen. I mean, that's just insane to me. Very simple solution. It made everybody laugh. Really intense conversations, but it's a beautiful thing. And that's where every single day we're just kind of pivoting to figure out a way to solve somebody's whatever that challenge is that they have.
That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Just listening sometimes, right?
Yeah. And by the way, that would be a legacy.
I love it. Yeah.
See what I did?
I see what you did there. Yeah. It's awesome.
And I can't leave.
What do you mean?
Listening to that? Oh,
I know. Well, listen, I'll tell you something. And you brought up a very good point. And I don't mean to totally hog this interview, but these questions come to mind. It's just nature of the beast. You mentioned parking at the hospital. That is one of my pet peeves. Who the hell is in charge of this, making money off people that can't afford to park at a hospital?
Yeah.
How do I get involved? Whose ass do I have to kick? Because this is wrong, and it's going across the country. There are groups that are fighting this. People are filling the things with foam insulation. You shouldn't have to pay $26 a day to visit or to be at the hospital. That's ridiculous.
Imagine having your
health
going in there for emergency for yourself, and you've got to pay for parking.
It's BS.
I went into Seven Oaks
2 nights ago.
No, I'm talking about a year and a bit ago. I fractured my kneecap, and I drove in, and I had to walk. You
drove with a fractured kneecap?
Yeah. Well, it was my left knee, not my right knee. And so I drove in, walked in, and I needed to get change for the stupid machine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I had to walk all the way through the hospital to the other end to then go to a bank machine, then to get the change machine, and then walk all the way back to plug it into the stupid meter before I could even be seen. I mean, why should we have to pay to go to the hospital?
It doesn't make sense. But let's get back to this. First of all, what's going on now, and how can people help you?
Well, obviously, and you know this from your days over at the Riverview Foundation. Just direct donations are always the way to go, and following us to find out when we have our next events. And really, we don't have anything physically planned until the summer of 2021. We hope to have a few, this new weird world of virtual events, whatever that means.
Yeah.
New ones coming up in the new year. In the meantime, it's really, we have a 50-50 over the holiday season. And I'm going to flip this over to Lori because he just finished writing this book, poetry, and of course, all the funds are coming back to the Never Alone Cancer Foundation. So that's great. It's tough on everybody, but if everybody can just donate a little bit, we put that together to solve all these kind of issues. And once again, like I said, it's $300 here. It's $500 for that. Sometimes we work with a hotel or whatever to cut the cost from rural people, and also we can stretch those donated dollars. So that $500 is really like $2,500 because we make all these extra deals on the side or arrange transportation. So it kind of compounds the effect. So people always say, "Oh, I don't have a lot to donate." Well, I can tell you that a little girl that we recently gave a little Barbie doll to, it was $60, and made her day, and it made her going to her clinic treatments so much better. So you can't put numbers on that kind of stuff, right?
No, not at all. And I mean, we did go for the cure this year.
Yes.
And we did it online because of the COVID. And it wasn't as much as we would have liked to have given you guys, but I kept saying to everybody, every penny, every cent, it all adds up. If everybody gave $5, 100 people, that's $500. 1,000 people, that's $5,000 right there.
That's right. But what I want to do now, and it's right, you did a great job of that. You've been doing that for years. The book of poetry, let's talk about this right now. I want to know about it, how it came about, what your poetry is about, how people can get it, and how they can make everything work for you guys.
Ooh.
Well, it started, I was in a show. I do a lot of theater, and I was down in Florida. I'm a snowbird. And our show was to open on March 13th. Well, on the morning of March 13th, we'd done the dress rehearsal the night before. We were called in. I was producing the show. My wife was stage managing, and we basically were shut down. The whole world closed in basically 24 hours. So we went from 110 miles an hour to zero. And very quickly, I looked around and I saw friends and family really getting very depressed. And I knew that I would go insane because I'm very active. And suddenly there was, if you remember March, there was no sports. There was nothing. We were really in a black hole. Back in university about 50 years ago, I used to write a lot of poetry. And I thought, you know what? I should start again. And just looking around me at nature and thinking about family and thinking about the fact we couldn't get together with friends, what the pandemic was doing, how I was feeling. So I started posting these on Facebook. And I was getting an incredible reaction back in March and April. And people were saying, this is really helping me. This is lifting up my spirits. It's motivating me. I'm not just sitting like a lump of coal. And so a few of them said, well, why don't you think about publishing this? And it went from about 10 poems to about 50 and ultimately to about 80 or 90. And my daughter, who is in the media, who is a publicist, it was a great thing to do with daddy-daughter to do it together. So she became my editor. Pamela Ross is my youngest daughter. And nice. And basically we worked with Friesen Press. And
I love those guys. They're doing my book.
They are, John, you're right. They're tremendous because I'd never even thought about doing this before. So it was all basically new territory to me. And they guided me all the way along. And the timing was perfect because the book arrived about 2 weeks ago. We got a limited edition. It's called Poetry, the Pandemic. And it's basically poems, partly about the pandemic, partly about nature. I ride a bicycle now. There are certain things I have to do because I have cancer. It's about the battle, not just of cancer, but it could be depression. It could be anything. It's the battles we face every day. So my challenge was just to inspire and to uplift people. And the reaction, as I mentioned, has been incredible. It's very simple to get the book. All the net proceeds from this book are going to the Never Alone Cancer Foundation. They have been so good to me from the moment I was diagnosed 2.5 years ago, and it's my way of giving back. And we've now sold, I guess about 290 of the 500 books. So we're the The launch is actually tomorrow night, and of
You
course,
haven't done the wait. Back up the pickle truck. You haven't done the launch yet, and you sold almost 300 books.
yep. I guess when you're motivated, we knew that with Code Red in Winnipeg, the actual day that we went into Code Red was when the books arrived. So we knew that it was going to be a challenge because normally you launch a book, as you know, John, you invite people out, you have a glass of wine, you spend the evening. The drunker they get, the more books they buy, the better it is. Yep. The problem is we have to do it all virtually. So we're calling it a Zoom virtual book launch tomorrow night. Okay. And basically it's all about trying to help people really at this point. I know how the Never Alone Foundation helps me day to day and helps many people. So I'm kind of getting back. Simple to buy the book. You just go to the Never Alone Cancer Foundation website. It's nacf.ca.
Yes.
nacf.ca. There's a link there that basically you click on. It's $25 plus shipping. And I'm hoping to raise somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000 for the foundation once we sell the book out. So I think that is at least helping in a time where there is no help to be had.
You know what? I think, that the virtual way of selling it's great. And hopefully it'll get to a point where they can go and buy it tangibly somewhere. But to put your heart and soul into your poetry, and you're living with cancer, you're part of the machine. You have been for a long time. A book of inspiration. And yeah. I'm sure the poetry you wrote 50 years ago might have been influenced by some of the stuff we were all ingesting 50 years ago. But
definitely.
He never did that. He never swallowed.
Eggman, cuckoo, cachoo.
He never.
And there was some streaking in the early 70s too. Don't forget. So that came into play.
I got a ticket for that for operating small machinery. So I'm just saying, can we get serious here? Now,
no.
Okay, so all I want to know is it's all about getting you guys the funds you need. People can just donate online as well and get involved that way. If you need volunteers, we're really not doing anything right now that need the volunteers, but someday there will be. Yeah. If people want to get more involved with the Never Alone Foundation, what do we got to do? Because you got us. Next event you have, we'll be happy to be there.
Real simple. Once again, hit us up on Facebook and drop us a message. Follow what we're doing. Interact with the people there, right? You get to see what we're doing, who we're helping. And sometimes it's about just people communicating, right? So if somebody posts something about the issues they're going through, we respond. But all of a sudden, everybody else starts saying, I know how you feel, or I'm doing this. And, and you feel a community. Because right now, you look around, you're stuck in your house. It's tough to feel like you have community, right? Some of my volunteers are emailing people privately, so they do one-on-one peer work. So you just go online or send us an email at info.nacf.ca or head to the website and you'll find us there and help us out. We've got, for sure, a dog walk next year and tournaments, and they'll come back. We'll do things.
Of course it will. Of course it will.
Michael, a good immediate example is we have volunteers that are actually delivering the books around the city so that we don't have to pay $5 postage every time we send out a book because it's a fair size. So volunteers are helping us deliver the books.
Well, that's fantastic. And you know what? Winnipeggers are really good at stepping up to the plate. And we're behind you 100%. Everybody's behind you guys 100%. And Lyle Bauer's dream is fantastic, and you guys are absolutely wonderful. And
we appreciate your guys' support, and the Gopher fundraisers and Halloween 2021 is going to be way bigger, and it's going to be an awesome celebration.
Can't wait to be doing that, and who knows, maybe it'll be live on Now What?
I can't wait for that.
We'll be partying together, but broadcasting it live on
there you
Now
go.
What?
Well, listen, guys, we'll let you go. Thank you so much. And remember, folks, Never Alone Foundation, just Google them. You'll find them. And please help out any way you can.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
Guys.
You too.
You guys have a great one, too. That was awesome. They're fantastic.
You know what? And here's a guy who's living with cancer, stage 4 prostate cancer, writing a book.
Yes.
His feelings are on the pages, and I very rarely, as you know, am serious. But this just blew my mind, and
It does.
and it's wonderful. And I can't say Lyle Bauer's name enough.
No.
So
What a dream to put forward and to make happen.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? You know, I wrote a book once.
Oh,
Well,
no.
I've been actually.
Let's come on.
Let's be honest about it. I've been writing this book
Yeah.
for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still on the first page.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm still on the first line. It was a dark and stormy night. I can't seem to get past that.
No. His book actually started with Dear Penthouse.
No, but really, it's like I've always wanted to write a book, a sci-fi book, but it always like I start. I got an idea. Yeah, what's the first line? And then I just kind of freeze and forget about the book.
Yeah.
And off I go. So last week I brought you 22 minutes with Gopher,
Oh yes.
and you guys remember what it was, right? It was me going between Tim Hortons and Tim Hortons to get home.
It was
Just to get
riveting.
to- So hey, here we go.
You're gonna show it again?
Part of it,
Do you hate these people?
a little bit. So
Yeah.
that was the idea, right?
Uh-huh.
So this week, 22 minutes with Gopher is actually 1 hour with Gopher, but
And
it is still
who's
30
in it
seconds.
with you?
Oh, they're gonna have to guess. It's a guest star.
Oh, you really? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
it's a
too
guest star.
obvious.
Yeah, dude, give him the gangsta
Why don't I have anything in my cup?
because
Oh.
so and this ties in with our next guest.
Yes, it does.
That is such a fun little room down there now.
I know.
That's in our basement.
It's good as heaven. And we got the tree from my very good friend, Carrie Salke. She
Thank you,
gave me that
Carrie.
tree. Yeah, thanks, Carrie. And there was actually still ornaments on it when I pulled
Yeah.
out of the box. So I got those for you. If they're like family heirlooms from 1871.
So our guest is early.
What?
So let's bring him on. Oh, hang on, I had some music for this.
What are you doing? See, I got up for this.
There we go.
Here comes Santa.
Oh, where is he?
Here comes Santa.
Oh my goodness! Tell me it ain't so.
It is so.
Hi, Santa.
How we doing, guys?
We're doing great. The question is, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good, thank you. Getting
All
ready
right,
for a
thank you so much.
very busy season.
I know it must be crazy.
It's so busy, so busy. So many new toys, so many elves working, everybody working to make this year's Christmas extra special because of what's going on in the world.
Oh, you know what? You know what, Santa? Yeah, this. I think a lot of kids are a little worried, maybe, that because of all this, that is Santa still going to come? So.
Well, I don't know if you saw, but Dr. Fauci told everybody the truth. Santa is immune from COVID. He can't get COVID, so all of the kids all over the world will get their toys.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. So can I ask a personal question, Santa? How do you keep up with, I'm 58, you're like 400 and something. How do you keep up with
27?
Okay, that's good. How do you keep up with technology with the toys these days?
The elves. I've got elves. All of my elves are my little helpers. They help me out with all the newest stuff, and they show Santa Claus what's up.
I love elves.
Yes.
They're awesome.
Would you like to talk to Santa about something?
But
Do you know what elves post on social media?
what do they post on social media?
Elfies. Get it? Elfies. See? They're on top of it.
They are those zany little little guys, gals. So, okay. So right now you must be working around the clock. Now, are you actually a hands-on build the toys kind of guy? Or are you supervising? What is a day of Santa's life like right now? Because children want to know, what does Santa do all day?
Yeah.
Well, the elves make most of the toys, and they take care of all of the letters from the boys and the girls.
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Claus takes care of me, and I spend all of my time now talking to boys and girls all around the world now on Zoom.
That's
Since
right.
they can't go to the mall and they can't go see Santa in person, now I talk to everybody on Zoom, just like I'm talking to you guys.
Well, so how can that work now if kids want to chat with you?
Yeah.
I'm curious because I want to talk to them.
It's easy. I have a website. It's called visitswithsantaclaus.com. And
Visitswithsantaclaus.com.
That's it. Parents can make arrangements for their kids to have a visit with me, and we'll talk and we'll sing, and they get to hear more of my awesome jokes. Are you ready for another joke?
Yes.
love one.
Do I have
What
the
do you
right?
call a frozen elf hanging from the roof?
What do you call a frozen elf hanging from? Did
the
you
roof.
say roof or roof? A roof. You got me on that one.
Elfsicle?
It's an elfsicle.
Oh, you got it. All right, take a shot.
All right. So do I have your website up there, right?
Visit with SantaClaus.com.
With SantaClaus.com.
There you go. So if you have children and they would like to visit with Santa Claus, you can go to that and set up a time, right?
That's right. It's as easy as buying a plane ticket or a concert ticket. It's so
Nobody's going to either one of those now, Santa.
I understand.
Yeah.
And the nice part is some of the money that we collect goes toward kids needing toys.
Wonderful.
Love it.
We've been collecting toys, special toys for kids all over. So it's been a wonderful thing. We work with the people from Toys for Tots and a bunch of other groups as well.
Can I just like, because Mark and I are both toy collectors.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a child of the 60s and 70s. I love the old toys like the Evil Knievel stunt cycle and all the G.I. Joes and Lost in Space. What toys that are staples that I'm not talking the new technology ones. What toys are staples that boys and girls still ask for? And I know right away, without even getting the answer, Barbie must be number one for young ladies.
Barbie's very, very, very popular because Barbie's evolved over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite 60s, but Legos are super, super popular.
They'll never go away.
No, they won't. In fact, they just released a brand new Lego set. It's the Colosseum in Europe, 9,000 Lego pieces.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. No.
See, Mike, you ever stepped on one in the middle of the night?
Yes.
Yes.
I own my own Lego. I step on it all the time.
For that one. They shouldn't have left it out in my bedroom.
Yeah. So what do you feed the reindeer? Like what is Rudolph's favorite meal?
Rudolph and the reindeer get carrots with magic sauce on it.
With what?
Magic sauce.
Magic sauce.
Magic sauce.
Is that how they fly?
Fly. That's right.
Oh. Well, I didn't know that one.
Neither did I.
No kidding.
Do
which one? Okay, reindeer question. Which one of the reindeer, Santa, is the most difficult to really, lack of a better term, pull in the reins on? Like, which one gives you the most trouble? Whether they're hijinks or they're little overactive or just don't listen to you.
It's Dancer.
I don't know.
Actually, it's Rudolph.
Prancer.
Rudolph.
He knows he's the star of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Rudolph is as big as Santa.
Yeah.
Without Rudolph, we can't find anything.
That's true.
He just knows to lead us there.
Now, I have a question from a 5-year-old little girl named Willow.
Okay.
And she asked, we don't have a chimney. They just moved and they don't have a chimney. How does Santa, or is Santa going to be able to come in with presents? And I said, well, Santa's on our show this week. I will ask him that question.
And I have the answer. I don't have it on me at this exact moment, but when I travel, I keep it in my sled. I have a magic key, and the magic key opens up the door to every lock around the world, from China to Europe to the United States, Canada to Mexico. It's a magic key.
Wow.
Mm.
And
All right,
I'll
well,
bet you anything it says "do not copy" on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a copy on that. No, but so Willow, there you go. Right from Santa's mouth. You're okay, kid.
And you know what else? I also have a magic force field. So when I come down the chimney, if the fire is still on, I don't get burned.
Well, that's really a good thing, Santa.
'Cause
No
you
one
know
wants
what
to wake
happened?
up and see that.
You know what they'd call me if I got burnt?
Wait a minute. I'm judging on your past jokes.
Crispy Kringle.
Oh, for
Get it?
crying out loud!
Crispy Kringle.
And if you
Oh!
All right.
and if you wait, and if you fell off the roof, you'd be Santa Klutz. Wow,
Very good.
he's not laughing.
Can we leave the jokes to Santa? Okay.
So, what is the number one toy asked for this year?
Oh my God.
Right now, it's the PlayStation 5 for the older kids.
Yes.
It's hard to find, very, very hard to find. And all of the LOL toys are super popular. Unicorns are super popular.
Wow.
Legos are super popular. Nintendo Switch are super popular. So almost as popular as your glasses. And that reminds me of another joke.
Oh, here we go, Santa. What is it?
Who is the elves' favorite singer?
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley. That's right.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Oh,
Look at this. He's got the Elvis shirt on right there.
Yeah.
there it
Yeah.
is.
Well, I
That's
just
awesome.
wear this to hide the bags under my eyes,
So
Santa.
if Santa comes over to my place,
Yes.
I want a Lego Death Star.
Have you
I'm
been?
a Star Wars fanatic.
Have you been good?
I
Because
think I've
this
been
guy, right here, the legend himself, the man, the myth, the legend,
good. He has me in his book.
the
Am I on
naughty
your
and
li-
nice list. Now, Santa, I'm going to ask you a question
Am I-
and put this out there right now.
What
I don't
list
mean
am
to-
I on?
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I see the book. Seriously, how much do you take seriously the naughty and nice list? Because all kids are basically nice. Some might stray a bit, and some grown-ups like us might stray a bit.
Well, that's why we have our team of elves on the shelf, so they can keep an eye on everyone. And the kids know.
So what list am I on? Can I ask that?
No, he won't tell you. You have to be.
Let's just say next year's looking better than this year.
I certainly hope so for a number of reasons.
Oh, man.
Wow, he got you.
Okay.
All right, beautiful stuff. And you're a busy man, and I can't believe you actually took the time to join us tonight, Santa Claus.
Absolutely.
So once again, how can people find you and set up a nice virtual meeting?
Visit with SantaClaus.com.
Love it.
There it is, right on the screen there for you to look at, kids. You know, you got to remember, ask mom and dad.
Ask mom and dad, or
Because, you're not
or
allowed
mom
to
and
use
mom, or dad and dad, or whoever.
You can't use their credit card without their permission. I did that once, and I was on the naughty list
Did
for a long
You
time.
use your parents' credit card?
Wouldn't you?
No,
Liar.
I wouldn't use your parents' credit card. I don't even know them.
Well, Santa, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you, guys. I'll leave you with one last joke.
All right, on.
What did the elves learn in school?
I'm
I'm scared to ask. Okay.
The alphabet.
The
Get it?
alphabet!
The alphabet!
Oh,
So I guess for cereal, they want alphabets?
would you stop? Leave the jokes to Santa. See what I got to live with?
I understand.
Thank you, sir.
I should really be on the good list because of what I have to put up with.
I don't know. I
But
don't.
that's why next year's looking better.
That's right. Santa Claus,
Thank you so
it's
much.
a pleasure to see you. And children are thrilled that you're on. And kids, you'll get there. Trust me.
Yes.
Merry
Live and
Christmas,
in person when I don't.
everybody. Be good for your moms, your dads, and your teachers. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Thank
Santa.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
Santa. Have a great and wonderful Christmas.
That was so cool.
That was. And guess who's phoning?
Who? Mrs. Claus?
My mother.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's find out.
All right, here's the thing. His mother hates me because she thinks I'm
Hi,
mean.
Mom.
I'm not mean to Mark.
Hi, honey.
Hi there. John can't hear you. I can because I've got the headphones on.
Oh no.
But
Even I got the alphabet. Even I got the alphabet.
you did you?
Yeah. As soon as he says, "What did the Alf learn in school?" I said, "Alphabet."
Yes. So, any message for Santa from you, Mom?
Give me a break. What can I tell him?
Yeah, just be good.
Just visit all the
Hey,
good kids.
So,
all,
since you're on
everyone.
the air,
Can they hear her?
they can hear her.
Oh,
fine.
good, because I can't hear her. Jack.
Here,
Get away from me.
you can listen.
I don't want to get close to you.
Just visit
No,
all
I do
the
not.
Listen.
No.
So you can now listen to Mom.
I can't hear her. Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now. Why? What's the problem this week?
That's for you, Mom. That's where you.
I'm
that's where
asking
you
you,
answer.
what did I do to tick you off this week, Mom? Is she alive?
She's there.
Hello.
I,
Well, I asked you a question, my dear. I simply said, what did I do that made you call this week? Because every time you get upset with me because you think I'm
no,
mean to your son.
I never ever get upset with you. I think you're very nice, very funny.
Okay.
You
Thank
are a
you.
good match. You are a good match for my son.
Well, we're not that way, but he's a very nice
Not
gentleman.
in that way.
He's
not
only
in
proposed
that
to-
way. I'm
proposed to me
talking
3
as
times.
friends, as
Yo,
as
great guy.
compatible as
You
far
raised
as
a good boy.
humor.
You raised a good guy.
That I know.
Oh,
But,
sorry.
Mom, we need to get back to the show.
I raised 3 good guys.
You did.
Oh. Oh, good
Yeah.
for you.
We got to get back to the show. Love you, Mom.
I love you too, honey.
Bye-bye. I have no words.
She's so awesome.
Yeah, I know. I love when she calls. She calls every show, and I get scared. It's like when you hear your name over the intercom at school. John, please come to the principal's office. I'm like, oh no.
So for next week, I will have a second set of headphones so you can hear her separately. You won't have to.
Oh, stop! I'm getting tingly. That's
All
exciting.
right. So one of your friends said, "Oh, hang on, we got some notes here."
I can't see Jack pooping at Dixie.
Let's see. Carrie. Ha 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 ha. Facebook user.
Wait,
oh,
Carrie,
that's
wait, back up. Carrie, what does
Pam.
ha 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 ha
She's
mean?
listening to my mom.
Oh,
Oh, Dolores says, "Hi, Mark's mom." Pam
Pam
says,
Dunnigan from New England.
"Yeah."
Our
She's-
correspondent.
She says, "Hi, Mark's mom," and then she says, "Mark's mom sounds so cute." And Carrie says, "Ha ha ha," because you obviously felt guilty about something that you didn't get caught for. And then again, why can't I remember her name? I just said her name.
Pam
Pam. That's right.
Dunnigan.
Pam Dunnigan. I wanted to call her
My
Rebecca for some
bestest
reason.
friend. Oh no.
She said, "Good March for her son," and then she goes, "Oops, spell check." She meant match, and then spelled four instead of four. She said fur.
Look what happened. The lens popped out of my Elvis glasses. It's like a cheap pair of Zenny glasses or something.
Did you know that Elvis did not wear glasses on stage?
I told you that, you
I know.
idiot.
I was trying to.
Oh,
sound
there goes
smart.
your mother again. She's gonna call
Yep.
because I called you an idiot.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, and talking about Pam.
Yes.
Talking about Pam. She lives on a farm. You told me.
Yes, she rents a lovely little thing there on a farm in New England, and she's our New England correspondent.
Yeah.
Now she'll be on. I don't know if maybe next week, but
Next
she's
week
our
we got.
political correspondent. She's going to have recipes for us. She doesn't know that yet, but I'll let her know. And I've told the story. Her mother and my mother were both pregnant at the same time, lived across the street. We all grew up together, and we never dated. It was anything romantic. We were just best pals, and we still are to this day. So shush. Look, I fixed them.
So,
Excellent.
anyways, that being said, she sent us a video
Oh yeah, this is
of,
awesome.
of cows eating pumpkins.
But this is on
And-
the farm she lives at, and the mother's name is, oh God, hold on.
And so apparently,
Where's my phone? The
she
phone has the
accident-
name. Sangria is one of the cows. Pam, right now. Right. There's
what are the names of
Sangria,
your cows?
Sangria, and all right, she should be typing something somewhere.
And so, yeah, she's typing right now. So Pam, what are the names of the cows? And so she had accidentally watched it in fast motion
Yeah, she didn't know how that happened. Why are our lips not matching up to the picture?
because I don't know. There it is.
Okay.
Blah blah blah. See, it
All
worked.
right, so where is it? Oh, Sangria
is the mom.
And I look like I'm an old guy reading a computer. What?
And then she said, so I've actually sped it up.
What was the other one? Samosa?
Stella.
Oh, Stella!
So what I've done,
I
could have been
somebody. I could have been somebody.
no, you couldn't.
Stella. What? That was Marlon Brando.
So I sped up the video 400 times so that the video was not 3 minutes long, and it's now only 30 seconds.
Yeah, it sounds like my wedding night. Go ahead, run it.
It does.
That was so cute.
Cows are funny to begin with, but when they're eating pumpkins,
You know what? They're
it's like when I'm eating ice cream.
They're an utter joy to watch.
Oh, Joe. Oh,
Okay, good.
an utter joy to watch.
Yeah, that was a cow boob joke.
Cow boob joke.
Yeah, well, stay away from those milking machines. I've heard stories about those farms,
So,
lonely farm boys.
show the cup.
What?
Show the cup.
The one I'm wearing?
No, the cup.
Oh.
Yeah, those are the new cups we've got,
La la la. Don't. What do you do? Oh,
and these are the shirts that we've got.
Not
Look-
shown in
look at
actual
that.
size.
There's green.
oh, there's green on it. So it
The
gets
green on it.
invisible.
Look at that. You can see through the cup.
Oh, that's awesome. That's freaky.
Can
No
you
wonder
do it
my
on
coffee
shirt, too?
ran out in my crotch.
Yeah, look at my shirt too.
That's great, pal.
Isn't that neat?
No, I can see through your intestines.
Like you said, I'm gonna
Now listen, we have them, and you can get them. We'll sign them with someone else's name. We'll just come up with names, Buford or whatever. Yeah, you can get them. I don't know how we're going to do this because we haven't done this yet. Oh, we did. Yes, we have one. D got some, and
Well, D and Mary Ricer.
Ricer.
She actually purchased a shirt and a cup. So right now they're pre-order,
Oh my!
so that we can get your size and
That's just
whether
a
you want
cheap way of
men's-
meeting women. You pay.
men's or women's. It's for everybody. you
Oh,
dope.
sorry. Our
Suck on your fruit.
Our fruit bowl is rotten. There's flies on it. Yeah, we're two guys live together. When did you get that fruit? What fruit?
There's fruit.
Yeah, it used to be.
It's in the box and it's in loop form.
Uh-huh. What are we doing?
We're waiting actually for our next guest.
We're not going to wait.
Well, Mitch Dorge is.
Oh,
not
yeah, we
here.
have to. Yeah, Mitch
Yeah, we
George from the Crash Test Dummies
gonna
is going to
be
be on. We're going to talk about a myriad of, is that a word? Myriad of
Yeah,
things,
it's right. Yeah,
which means a lot of things.
right now the shirts right now and the cups are $25 each. And
Yeah, but that
covers
price.
shipping and all everything else that coming.
Yeah.
all the GST, PST, and blah blah blah.
What
blah,
I
blah,
want to
blah.
do is I like to support local. So what I want to do is find a local company
Well,
that can
if
do
we
the
can,
printing.
we can. But right
All right.
now, this is what it is.
I know. Great. Listen, if you know people that have a promotional company that does logos and cups and all that stuff, let us know because we're going to use local. We want to keep business local. I don't want to send it overseas to some poor kid who's chained to a radiator making, working for cigarettes, painting mugs. So I'd like to keep it local. That's what I'm telling you.
They've actually stopped the radiator.
What do they use now? Cinder
They're
blocks?
just cinder blocks.
Yeah.
That way they can actually move them around for lunch. So, do you remember the call you made to your buddy to see if he'd come on the show?
Which buddy is that?
I don't know. He's in the news and he used to be on the show with you, and he just flat out
Jay
told you-
Onright?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been bugging him. Jay Onright, of course,
So,
is now a TSN.
For those of you who have not seen,
Wait, can I finish my story?
no, I
You
was
asked me a
talking
question. I'm
first.
trying to answer this damn
I
story.
just wanted his name.
No, Jay Onright was my first co-host on Breakfast Television in 2000. He left the show in 2002 to go to TSN, where he's
Mhm.
hugely successful and even had a show in Los Angeles. And I'm in my kitchen doing this thing. But anyway, so I called Jay. Oh, just watch.
Yeah. So yeah. Just watch.
Hey, everybody. I'm just going to give my good buddy Jay Onright a call. We'd like to have him on the show in a week or so. He's on TSN, former co-host on Breakfast Television. I know he'll be on it. He loves me. This guy is great. Hey, Jay. I got this little thing I'm doing in my kitchen with my buddy Mark, and we have a sports little segment coming up, and I want to know, being who you are at TSN, that you would help us out with it. What do you think, buddy?
No.
Yeah, he loves you.
Yeah, he loves me.
He
Yeah.
loves you.
He's just mad about that one night in the Exchange District. long story.
Yeah. Do you like weird news from around the world?
Yes, of course I do.
I can't remember where this was. It's in the Orient somewhere.
Oh, that narrows it down.
But a train went off the tracks, and art saved the day. Look at that! Somebody made these art forms of whales' tails coming out.
Was it Finland?
No, they're not in the Orient.
No, but it's funny because they're
It
Finns.
is. But look at that. The train is resting on the tail.
I can see it.
Isn't that freaking awesome?
What stop is that? I'll get off at the whale. Wow, that's
Sealand.
wow. And I heard they're going to keep it there.
Yeah, well, not the train.
Yeah, they're thinking of keeping it there.
Well, how are the other trains?
They're
gonna
going to
pass?
no, they can't get past you, dolt. Do you see a track anywhere on there?
No, but
No. So what they're going to do is they're going to make a bronze version of the last train where half the people basically soiled their shit themselves. Okay, and
I hope the kids went to bed.
They're more like, and I know you get mad at me when I swear because we're going to be on Shaw TV soon. But I did the show solely for the purpose of being uncensored, and damn it, I'm going to be uncensored. So that train is going to be bronzed and mounted on that tail. I'm John Youngberg, and I approve this ad. What?
It's like baby boots. They're going to bronze it. The first train to go off the track there.
That's
Let's
right.
bronze it.
They should have bronzed your boots. You're the first one in your family going off the tracks.
Yeah, I've been off the tracks once or twice.
Yep.
You know, lived on the wrong side of the tracks.
We have the weirdest stuff on our kitchen table. Like, we don't need this tape measure. We've got a microphone that's not attached to anything. We got my singing snowman.
Go Dasher, go Dancer, go Prancer, and Vixen.
Give me it. I will hurt you. Give it to me. I will seriously put itching powder on your bar of soap. Give me this. Man.
That's
Speaking
awesome.
of which, did you use all the body wash, my Irish Spring body wash?
No,
I was empty.
that's not my fault.
No, but I had to use a laundry pod.
Well, a laundry pod?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what else is news
I'm
with you?
static, cling free.
What is news with you these days?
What's new with me? Well, I work at Winnipeg Harvest or Harvest Manitoba. We just changed our name to
Yep.
Harvest Manitoba. What it is we are a distribution center food bank. We get all the food from Sobeys, Walmart, all sorts of donors like yourselves out there who have donated to Winnipeg Harvest, and we package it up through about 6 different stations and do hampers for families. Now we are feeding 80,000. Let that sink in. 80,000 Manitobans a month. The numbers have gone up in October alone 17% because of COVID, and it's insane. And we're always looking for volunteers. If you're in Winnipeg, we'd love to have you down there. Go online and check it out, harvestmanitoba.com.
Yep.
And you can fill out an application there. We just switched names, so you might have to Google it but my job is I'm a volunteer service coordinator, and I make sure everybody goes to their spots. It's a great place to volunteer, and the need is huge. It's just huge. You know,
so many people are going without food. That's got to stop. There's more than enough food to go around, but we need help getting it to them.
I forget the number in the States, but it's huge, and people are in lines for 4 hours to get food. It's all over the world right now.
Before Thanksgiving, I was watching CNN. In one town, there were people in lineup for food the day before.
Yeah, you know what?
Almost 24 hours in line to get food.
One thing I'm very passionate about and serious about is this: food insecurity. No one should go to bed hungry. It's a cycle, and 43% of the people that use our services are children. And it's not cool at all. You know, they can't. They can't function at school. Think about when you're hungry. All you can focus on is I gotta have something to eat. You know, whatever. You know, but kids, you know, sometimes that's their only meal of the day is the food they get at school or the community clubs, which are all shut down. And it shouldn't happen in anywhere, let alone developed countries. So please, your local food bank, wherever you are. You know, it doesn't take anything to throw something extra in your cart or donate cash or time.
Even some of the malls or shopping centers or grocery stores have at the end of the till a place where you can throw extra food that you want to.
And time. We'd love to have you. So any food bank.
Delora, she's a wonderful person. She actually is a member of Go for the Music.
Mm-hmm.
One of my she's
conglomerates.
No, she assists me at weddings, and she sometimes DJs here and there. Wonderful, beautiful woman and her family. They donate their time to Harvest every weekend.
Thank you so much.
Or every second weekend.
That means a lot. A lot. So yeah, we could definitely use your help, or in wherever you're watching us from the world, around the world. We have people across the big pond. We got states, you name it, coast to coast here in Canada. Just give of your time. I mean, I know it's COVID and you got to take protocols and be careful, but anything you can do can help.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I did have another thought, but I just derailed myself. No pun intended.
How long? Okay, going back to this household, which is, it's like the Odd Couple. The pizza you ordered earlier, which thank you very much. It was very nice.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was very delicious. It's still it's still on the table.
It is.
Yeah. So I was gonna get a slice, but I don't want to interrupt the show.
No, go get a slice. If you want, you can bring me a slice too. But
I'm not gonna eat in front of people.
You're not in front of people. You're in front of the computer.
No, but they're watching. They're watching. And I got a beard. You want to see a chunk of cheese stuck in this fur? No. Shush. Hey, okay. Let me bring something up right now. This just reminded me in my brain of this. Carrie, my friend, mentioned to me that the snow route situation in town. And now let's get this straight. What it is here in Winnipeg? We have snow routes. Certain
main streets.
Main streets. You can't park there from what? December
2 a.m. It'll be coming up very soon.
It's December 1st.
Yeah,
that you can't park in the streets after 2 a.m. But there's no snow, and it's hard to believe in Canada.
Well, it's not.
Shouldn't it just be when there's a lot of snow we can't park there?
Well, realistically, yes. But what it is, it's that you know how weather is in Winnipeg.
I'm gobsmacked.
But you know how weather is in Winnipeg. It can snow overnight, and then they have to come along and they have to scrape those roads down.
Yes.
So they just want it so that at night they can come along without having to give you warning and scrape those streets down.
Yes.
For the buses and for the other main streets. Generally, if a bus goes down it, it's a snow route. Is basically how it works.
All right. So I can't park in the street. You get the garage.
We're going to set you up a spot so that you can plug in.
Okay, people in the States, we have to plug in cars here in the winter because it gets to minus 50. Minus 50. Let that sink in. Yeah, the boys don't like that. I'll tell you that much. But you have to plug your car in or it won't start. And so you have one side. We have a double garage. One side is all of his DJ equipment. We're talking.
What are you saying?
What?
Don't say that.
Okay, we have no DJ equipment in the garage, but he's got his van on one side, and I don't get to park in there. No one knows where we live.
Anyways, let's go a little sciencey for you.
I don't like science.
I'm going to give you a science trivia. Winnipeg, gets to minus 40. Let's say.
Okay.
Wind chill, minus 52.
Explain what wind chill is.
Wind chill. Well, no, we're gonna get to that in a moment.
And it's not windshield. People do that.
We're gonna get to that in a moment. So the wind chill is the real feel is 52. Okay, minus 52.
Yes.
When you go outside and you put your hand on your car, how cold is your car?
You lost me. I have a science question.
It's minus 40.
Yeah.
The wind chill is minus 52.
Yes.
When you touch your car outside, how cold is it?
How the hell do I know? I'd say
they've given two numbers.
Is this a math question?
No, it's not a math question.
I would say it's the first one.
You're right. It's minus 40 because the ambient temperature is minus 40. The way wind chill works, the real feel is how fast the wind is removing the heat from your body.
Oh,
right. So wind chill only affects living creatures. So when you touch something outside, it's still only minus 40 because that's the ambient temperature. It just got there faster.
This is why our new segment coming up soon is called Mr. Science. And if you were here the other night in our rec room, we weren't on the air, but he was explaining how the moon doesn't rotate around the earth.
It does rotate around the earth.
Yeah.
It's just that the same face always faces the earth. And it's like this.
Oh, no,
this is the earth.
No,
and
no.
And the moon does this.
No. Okay. But it's
that's rotation.
It's just so
that is revolution.
It's just it's just like I'm gonna lose it. So he's gonna be part of our new segment called Mr. Science, where he discusses real science, and we all look at him in awe.
Whether it be correct or not.
Yeah, I know, but it's just funny the way you get so into it.
Well, I love that stuff.
I
love
know
science.
that's what makes it your passion for
I
that.
love science. Anything that is different like that. It amazes me. It's like somebody was asking me the other day about bandwidth on computers,
Mhm.
and I was trying to explain it to him in very, very layman's terms. And one of the guys working with me tried to contradict what I said, then looked it up, and it was in the same exact layman's terms as I used.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you look silly.
Yeah. No, he did.
Oh, he looks silly.
He was trying to say I didn't know what I was talking about. But then again, I was a computer technician for 14 years. I understand a little thing about bandwidth.
But he still gets toast out of the toaster with a knife.
Fork. I use a fork.
Okay. So
or metal tongs.
Yeah, well, whatever floats your boat. So what we're doing, see, this is part of live, whatever this is. We're waiting for Mitch Storage to contact us. And I don't know if he's trying to get me on my phone or what. Can I go get my phone?
Oh, I've got to find the video for the dry ice and show it to everybody.
Can you just talk or something while I go find my phone?
Yeah, I can talk.
Yeah.
So what Delora is
I'll
talking.
be right
yeah,
back.
Delora sent a message, said, "Don't let Mark have dry ice." So one day, what I wanted to do, I use dry ice at my Go for the Cure for various, special effects and things like that, because it's a Halloween event. And one of the things I did, and if you really want to have some fun, get some dry ice, boil water in a pot, throw in a little bit of dish soap, and then throw in the dry ice. Oh my Lord. I was cleaning up such a mess. I should have done it in the bathtub, but no, I did it in my kitchen, and it was everywhere. It was literally I could not keep up with it. I did not know what the hell I was doing, obviously. One of the things I'm trying to do is I want to make my own dry ice cloud machine. And you can use it in cocktails. Yes, you can. But one of the things you have to learn how to do is drink with dry ice safely, and that's exhale before inhaling. And then or exhale before drinking. You don't need to inhale while you drink, but you need to blow the CO2 away from you. Otherwise, you kind of gag on it. You're not doing yourself any harm, but you're just not. What's the word I'm looking for? You're just not. You're not going to be able to drink it very well. So, yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Remember, do not touch it with your bare hands. If kids are listening, don't touch it at all. Get mommy or daddy to do it. I think it's time to move to the Millennium Falcon. All right, so now we're in the Millennium Falcon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you can't speak when you're drinking that. That's right, Delora. She is quite a fireball, that one there, Delora. She's an amazing young lady, and I'm glad to have her as a member of Go for the Music. So I hope you're doing well this through all this COVID craziness. So let's see. The other day, I'm walking through the parking lot of the grocery store near my home, and there's a guy. He's yelling and screaming and shouting and waving his hands in the air, and he's literally screaming one side of a conversation. He's not just randomly shouting. He's having a conversation with what I thought was imaginary people. It turns out that it wasn't. He had an earpiece in, a Bluetooth earpiece in, and so whoever was on the other side really had him agitated. But I thought the guy was crazy. You're back.
Yeah, well.
Did you get a hold of him?
Nope, but he's confirmed he's supposed to be on the air right now. But
Well, I did tell him 9:05, and it's 9:04.
okay.
So, yeah, I was just telling people about the crazy person that turned out not to
Oh
be
yeah, I've
crazy.
seen that too. I've seen people
Yeah.
walking, talking to themselves. And I was just downstairs looking for my phone, which I lost. And I have this horrible mess in my room. I'm trying to wrap Christmas presents, and I'm really bad at it. Okay. And, I'm an artist and I have an eye for that thing, but I have no patience with wrapping. So if you can always tell what gifts under the tree I wrapped, because it looks like I did it after 3 days with no sleep on a moving train. It's duct tape and any paper I happen to have lying around. So it's kind of endearing that you get that from me with a bad wrapping job. And this year, pal, we have our Christmas special.
Yeah, we're gonna have our Christmas special
because he's Jewish and I'm not.
Yes.
And so, how do we incorporate 8 days with Christmas? Like, what are your thoughts on the whole Christmas show?
I don't know yet because Hanukkah starts on the 10th of December and moves forward from there for 8 days.
Well, yeah.
And then Christmas is on the 25th.
That's
so
right.
On the 20th, we'll do the Christmas special because it's in between the two.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna have to sit down and talk about that because I don't know. I honestly
you have nowhere to go with this, do you? What I'd like to do. Okay, this is my thoughts.
Got a hat.
Yeah, stop with that. It should be a Christmas or it should
Christmas
be
yarmulke.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. What I'd like to do for the show, and I want to hear from you folks as well. I want to hear your worst Christmas stories. Okay, and you can write to us. We'll tell them on the air. We might even
can videotape yourself talking, and we'll put you on the air,
and we'll interview you. Also, I want Christmas recipes. I want to hear about the drunk uncles that fell off into the tree. We want to hear all that stuff, and we're going to showcase it, and we're going to amp up the videos of wacky Christmas situations from around the world and Hanukkah, of course, because it's Christmas. Christmas.
Do you know the story of Hanukkah?
Nope, but I'm afraid I'm about to hear it.
Yeah, well, I'll give you the nutshell version of it. Basically, a bunch of Jews were trapped. They were. It was during they were under siege.
Yes,
and they only had enough oil. This is the.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah,
they had enough oil for one night's use, and they abandoned the place. They came back 8 days later, and the lamps were still lit from that one day's oil. So it was a miracle. It was basically, and I mean, I'm really dumbing it down. There's a lot more to it.
I appreciate that,
but I'm dumbing it down to make it easy for you. And you caught that, did you?
Kinda.
All right. I'm impressed. I'm very proud of you. But basically, dumbing it down, making it very simple. So it's that miracle that God kept the lamps running for the 8 days, and that's why on those 8 days we light a candle for each night.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
And there's a special prayer for it.
Okay.
Too. So I've got to try and remember how to do the prayer.
Oh, your mother's watching. If you don't know that, boy, you're going to get holy heck from her.
That's as far as I get. I think I even got the wrong one because that's the one for my bar mitzvah. That's from my bar mitzvah.
Yeah. Did you keep anything from your bris?
Oh yeah. I was born with no eyelids. So they used it to replace my eyelids.
Stop talking.
Now I've got foresight.
All right.
All right. So
look who's there.
Me.
No, right there.
Me.
That's not you. That's Mitch.
Is it really?
Yeah. Hi, Mitch. We'll get to you in a sec.
Yes, we will. I'm just trying to remember which one's which.
Bonjour, eh? Well, Canada, eh? Well, I thought Canadians were supposed to be friendly.
Let's begin.
Oh, there we go. It is Mitch George, the man behind the skins on that song. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me.
It's been the entire time.
Sorry. I'm distracted.
I want to first say congratulations on recently getting married.
Oh, thank you.
So there's a delay. Go ahead.
I'm waiting for you.
Okay. The whole thing about first of all, we've known each other for a very long time, and we just ran into each other at a taping of another show, and we're talking about this whole COVID thing. And of course, you are an iconic band, and you're doing so many great things. I just want to get into your head. I want to find out what's going on with you with this whole thing as an artist. How are you dealing with it, and just what life is like now with no touring and this stuff? Because a lot of us are out of the whole gig scene, and it's how do you cope with it?
Well, I'd like to tell you, I'd like to tell you that it's stressing me out, but it's not stressing me out that much, really. I've got another creative outlet that I have, which is writing music for film. And the film industry has managed to continue on. I've got probably 2 or 3 different television series that I'm working on right now, creating music, doing post-production for, and all that kind of stuff. Now, if we're going to talk about the band in that aspect,
yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, to your question, Brad's in New York. And he's in his apartment. New York, for the longest time, was a real hotbed for the COVID thing. And he was fine with not leaving his apartment. Michelle, his wife, is fine without not leaving the apartment. They've had their groceries delivered and everything else. Ellen's mom was not well for a little while. She was not, 100%. So Ellen flew out to Selkirk and spent some time with her mom. Now with the whole COVID thing, she was actually able to do that. She was actually able to go to Selkirk and spend 3 months with her mom, which was a really good thing. As you guys may or may not know, I was dealing with my own health issues back in March when the whole COVID thing hit. And so that was also, opened up a time for me to sit at home and recover for the couple of months that I needed to do that. So COVID really, gave us, in a weird way, an opportunity to get other things done. Hopefully, by the time everything starts to clear up, we'll all be ready for touring again, and everybody will be starving for some music. So we'll get out there and kick some ass. Can I say kick some ass? Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, exactly. You can say that. Yeah, no problem. You can say whatever you want. That's half the reason I do this show, because it's on Central. Can you just go grab the remote and shut the TV off? It's driving me crazy.
It's been on the whole time. You just noticed it?
Yes. Would you please?
You go do it.
Fine. Hold on.
All right. Well, now that he's gone, I can ask you a question.
Okay, go.
I play guitar badly, but I play guitar. And sometimes I think, I want to write myself a song. And I get lost in that. So you're doing multiple shows and movies and what have you. How do you go about being original and not like, I always end up using the same 4 chords and everything sounds the same.
I don't know if it's about being original. I kind of gave up the idea of being original a long time ago. First of all, I'm very, very fortunate in that all the music that I do, I work with directors and film companies that allow me to do what I want to do. So, as an example, I just finished a series called Ice Vikings. And it's about the fishing industry in Gimli, of all things. And it's got a real hotbed in New Zealand right now. They just released it in New Zealand, and it's doing really, really well. So, they come to me and they say, like, this is what the show is. And, here's a bunch of sound alike music. So here's some music that this is the direction that we'd like you to go in. And go nuts. And I sit here and I try to hone in on what they're thinking. My goal is not necessarily to be original, but to keep them happy. I want them, because I mean they've got to edit this stuff together. They've got 13 mini movies that they've got to put into this thing. I want them to be inspired. I don't want them to be going, geez, we've got no music to pick from here. Every time I turn something in, and they'll write me back and they'll say, wow, this is exactly what we need. Or can you do exactly that, but make it a little longer? And sometimes I get, what the hell were you thinking? Which is fine too. Because that's part of the creative process. But they give me lots of room to give them to give them what I think that they want. And they're not shy to tell me when I'm not giving them what they want, but they're also really good at telling me when I hit the nail on the head. When I hit the nail on the head, they go, "This is really great. Keep it coming." So it's not really about being original, but sometimes what does happen is I'll be working on one film, which is, let's say it's like with Ice Vikings, it was very sort of rockish, right? Dig deep and get that guitar heavy thing. But then I'll go from there to finish another series called Kid Diners, which was obviously meant for kids. And that's got to be lighthearted. And so I've got to switch gears, midway through. And then I go from that. I just finished a movie called Science Fiction Makers, which is a great film. It's about J.R. Tolkien and so that's more symphonic, more orchestral. So I got to wear a different hat there. And again, each director in each one of these films gives me a lot of freedom to go in any direction that I want. However, as I said, they're pretty good at letting me know when I've missed the mark. So, originality, I'm not really trying to be original. I'm trying to, understand what movies are about. And when you're doing a movie, that's a different mindset altogether. When you're doing a television series, that's a certain mindset. When you're doing a documentary, that's also a different kind of mindset, right? Because sometimes,
So do they kind of put it all together and let you watch it, so you're kind of playing the music to what you're seeing, or is it like they set the scene and then you got to kind of put it all together in your brain and then play the music to what you're seeing inside your head cinema?
In some cases, actually, in most cases, what they'll do is they'll say, our editors are putting stuff together. We don't want to put the stuff together with temp music, but we, so what we need is just to make it simple. There's a car chase, and the car chase is going through some back alleys. It's really fast, and the scene is going to end as a cliffhanger. So we need something fast tempoed, exciting, full of energy, but it's a cliffhanger, so don't resolve it. And it's that whole scene is going to be 98 seconds long, and so I'll try to come up with whatever I can to come in that direction. If I'm not nailing it, if I'm having trouble nailing it, they'll take a rough cut of whatever they've got and they'll send it to me and they'll say, here's where you're missing the mark, kind of a thing. We need faster changes, or we need slower changes, or we need something more exciting, or whatever. I would probably say 20% of what I do is scoring to picture, right? So they send me the scene and they say, this is how we want it to feel. But most of it is me composing pieces that are between 2 and 3.5 minutes long, that comprise of either tension or relief or sorrow or a number of emotions that you can come up with.
So, like when you say compose, Mitch, because you're a percussionist, we all know you as the percussionist, of course, most famously with Crash Test Dummies. But when you're writing or composing this, do you have a chorale, so to speak, of musicians you call upon? Do you write all the different music? Are you playing a McCartney type thing where you're writing all the bass and the horn? And like, how do you compose as a percussionist the whole ball of wax?
Well, so if you look behind me there,
yep.
All right, there's part of my workforce. If you look behind me there, You can see the other. You can see the other part of the workforce if you look up on the wall.
Can I have
There's
the one
another.
on the left?
There's another part of the workforce.
All right, I'll shut up then. Never mind. Never mind.
If you look behind me there, there's another part of the workforce.
Who needs stinking musicians?
And then one more. If you look right there,
the kit.
There's your baby.
There's the kit.
There's one of the drum kits. So, yeah, I can fake it fairly well on my own. I would never say that I'm qualified to play any other instrument other than drums. But when I'm here in the studio, I can experiment. I can fake it on these instruments that I have. If because I can search for ideas and I can make mistakes and I can just go back and redo it again.
Right.
But if I really need, a guitar player, or if I really need like a really great keyboard part or great bass part or whatever, yeah, I've got a corral of people that I pull from. But I would say probably 80% of the time I'm on my own.
But having that venue or that avenue to go down to creatively to use your creativity during these times, and I'm sure you were doing it long before this hit. I'm just speaking from my point of view. The live performing is something that is just been ripped out, and I almost don't even remember what it's like to be in the lights and in front of an audience. How about yourself? Is that need building and building and building? Because you guys just finished a mammoth tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, we had to cut our American tour. So we cut 28 dates out of the American tour. We had to cut 24 dates, I think, out of the European tour. So they all got pushed over a full year. And do I miss that? Absolutely. I mean, it's, I always tell people, and I would probably say this in particular in your field, in comedy, is where you really see it. Because, when I'm driving around, I tend to have the Comedy Channel on. And sometimes you catch someone, even if you go on Netflix, right, and you take your favorite comedian, there's nothing better than when you're experiencing live entertainment, whether it be music or comedy, Cirque du Soleil, whatever. But when you're on, only the people in that room will ever experience it. You know what I mean?
True.
Even if you recorded it, the feeling in the room, when you're just on and you're interacting with people and they're interacting with you, and the temperature in the room, the way the room smells, the way the room feels, in particular, if I'm going to move aside and I'll say in a band situation, you've got 6 people. In our case, we've got 6 people that are on stage, and when the chemistry is right, when it's dead on between those 6 people, there's an energy, there's a thing created that you just cannot get anywhere else. It's just where it is. You see it on comedy, probably 9/10 of what I listen to comedy wise, it's pretty good. But when you're in a room with somebody and they're on and they're interacting, I've been with you when you're hot and you've got somebody in the room, or you got 5 or 6 people in the room, and they're feeding off you, you're feeding off them, the energy is right. You walk away, you can try to tell somebody what they missed, you can do all it, but they're just, no one will ever experience it except for those who are in the room. So that's what I miss.
Yeah.
More than anything else are those nights. And with Crash Test Dummies, I have to say, in the last year and a half that we've been touring, I would say that 95% of our shows are dead on like that. Everyone on that stage is giving 100%. And, periodically you have an audience that's just, woo! What I mean?
Yep.
You got free tickets from a radio station, right?
I actually won tickets to go see you guys at Club Regent last time when you were there. And wow, I mean, you had a great audience there. They appreciated you. They went nuts when they came back out and did the Superman song.
Well, they're hometown heroes, of
Yeah,
course, you know that.
But the place went crazy. It was like they left and the Superman song wasn't played. And when you guys came back out, it was like the entire place, this little kettle exploded.
Yeah, it is. It is our hometown, but that's pretty much the reaction we get just about everywhere we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great. I mean, I never would have thought so on our last, in particular on the last tour. You know, one of my common jokes was people would come to us afterwards and they'd say, "Wow, like I never ever thought that I'd have the opportunity to see you guys live," and my response was always live or alive. Yeah, and you know, which one was it? But we had that every night where people, you know, whether it would be 500 or 1,500, because that's about the size of the audiences that we're playing to on the last tour. Some around 2,000, but the energy that there is when you're walking out there, it's like people are reacting to something that they didn't thought they'd ever have a chance to see.
Mm-hmm.
So they really soak it in, right? Like we really have the diehard fans that buy tickets a year in advance and will wait in line for 4 hours before, and they come out and they wait after shows. And I mean, I can't express how much gratitude I have for those people. It is phenomenal. It really is. But that's what I miss more than anything else. The playing is good. But it's that energy, that feedback, that reciprocity that you get with your audience.
Sure. I mean, it's instant gratification, and it's you really meet the faces that are behind you guys. I'm going to switch gears here, Mitch, if you don't mind. Your work with young people is incredible. I followed you on some of the tours you do with children. It talks to the folks a little bit about that whole project and what that is all about.
Well, that started off, it didn't start off being what it is. It started off with me coming up with a project which was designed to inspire people to play music because music was fun. That's really what that whole thing started out as. And lucky for me, a wonderful gentleman by the name of Shane Ferguson, who was a firefighter, called me up one day and said, "Hey, I was wondering if you'd be able to come on my website, and because I do this thing for kids, it's called Staying Alive, and I was wondering if you'd be able to come on my website and say something for the kids." And so I said, "Well, absolutely, no problem. Bring me a script and I'll have a look at it." So he brought me a script, and it was what you'd expect, right? You know, "Hey kids, John Youngberg here. Don't play with matches." And I said, "Sorry, man, I don't want to be an ass, but I can't do that." And he looked at me and he was like, what's wrong with you? Like this, don't you care about the kids?" I was like, "Yeah, but I think that what they need to hear is something real." So I said, "Leave your script with me, and I'll look through it. If there's something I think I can offer, I'll record it. I'll send it to you. Like, don't worry about it. It'll all be good. If you like it, use it. If you don't like it, we'll let it go." So I took the script and I found one that I thought was pretty good. And so my reaction to it was, "Hey kids, you're sleeping. You wake up in the middle of the night and your smoke alarm's going off. What do? Make a tuna sandwich? No! Feed the cat? No! Here's what you do. You get out of bed, you roll onto the ground and go through." So he put this on his website, and he started getting all kinds of positive feedback, and it was wonderful. So he became one of my biggest cheerleaders. He was just like, "Wow, this is really cool." And everywhere that we would go, he would toot my horn. So one of the supporters that he had was Cooperators Insurance. And he would go to them. Instead of saying, "Hey, support my thing," he would say, "You know what? My buddy Mitch does this thing, and it's really kind of cool." And so while this was going on, I was called by a fellow by the name of Keith Thomas, who was at the time the risk manager for the Manitoba School Boards. And he said, "I happened to be at one of your shows, and I thought you had a really good rapport with the kids. Do you think you'd be willing to come and do my thing which is TAD, which is Teens Against Drinking and Driving. We have a conference every year. Do you think you could do your thing, but alter it in such a way that we're delivering a message towards drinking and driving? Well, I had the same philosophy there. The last thing that I ever needed myself was to have someone preaching to me about how I'm going to live my life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I did my research, and I came up again with my own idea as to what I thought would be palatable to your average teenager. And I called him up and I said, I'll come up and do your conference. If it works out, if my idea works, you owe me money. And if it doesn't work, we'll shake hands and I'll go home. So to make a long story longer, I ended up doing like 2 years, waving the flag for TAD, going all over the province to different schools. He thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So now going back to Shane, Shane had put such a positive emphasis on everything that I did that the cooperators, they wanted to do something for teens, and they were getting rid of their previous ideas. And so they called me up and said, we're interested in coming out and seeing what you're up to. This is what we're thinking. We want to come and see what you're doing, see if we want to support that. So by this time, I had not only taken my thing with drinking and driving, but I had taken it to another level with drug use. I had taken it to another level with teen pregnancy. I had, just about any aspect that you can think of, I was covering. We were talking about cutting. Pick a spot. We were going for it.
Right, yeah.
And my whole approach was just to not tell anybody how to live their lives, and to not tell everybody. Essentially, I'm saying, I don't live in your house. I don't live in your skin. I don't have to deal with some of the stuff that you have to deal with. And if you're making choices in life that maybe aren't the best choices in life, maybe you think that's your only option. So there are other options. I'm a really happy guy. I've been able to do what I love my whole life, and I can tell you that there's some downfalls. So if you've got a dream and you want to pursue it, let's work together, see if we can make that happen. So going back to the cooperators, they came out. They came to a school that I was doing. They questioned the teachers. They questioned the administration. They talked to the kids. If there were any parents there, they talked to them as well. They phoned me up about a month later. They said, we're really interested in working with you. Would you be willing to come to Guelph? We're going to line up 5 or 6 schools for you, and then we're going to do this all again and see how that works out. So
nice.
I went to Guelph. We did a whole pile of schools, and that's when there was a life-changing moment for me. Before we did this, we had, am I boring you with this stuff? I hope not.
No, I asked the question. I want to know.
Before we did this thing, we went and I sat in a room with a bunch of administrators and the cooperators, because they wanted the administrators to have a chance to know me before they would give up 2 hours of their kids' time.
Right.
As you can well imagine, going into a school and asking for 2 hours of their time, their first question is, really? You think you can hold our kids down for 2 hours? That's their first reaction. So they asked me a bunch of questions. We went around the table. And while I was doing this thing, there was a fellow sitting to my right. And he had a pen in his hands. And he was just doing sitting at the table, no eye contact. And he was just flipping the pen, flipping the pen, flipping the pen.
Right. Yeah, we all know that guy.
Yeah, I said, you know what? This guy's here for a free lunch and whatever. I'm looking around the room. They're all looking at each other, and I'm thinking, okay, well, this is going to be dead in the water, right? Thanks. I was hopeful, but thanks. So when we wrapped the whole thing up, they were all kind of like straightening out their books, getting ready to go home, saying, okay, we had our free lunch. And they said, does anybody else have any questions? So Frank was his name. He happened to be the vice principal of Our Lady of Lourdes in Guelph. And he turned to me and he said, up until a couple of weeks ago, if you would have come to me and asked me if any of my kids in my school felt that this was safe, I would have told you that my school is a safe zone 100%. But he said about 2 weeks ago, I happened to be sitting in my office. My phone rang. I was called down to the middle courtyard. When I got to the middle courtyard, there were 2 kids in the middle of the yard, beating the snot out of each other. And there were about 40 or 50 other kids standing around them with their phones watching this thing. He said, first of all, he was shocked that that happened. That prompted him to do, I guess, some survey work in his school. And he found out that in excess of 60% of the student body did not feel that their school was a safe place to be.
Wow.
He said to me, if you can come to my school and you can make any difference in any of these kids' lives, you can have all the time you want. Well, do you think that didn't make a difference in how the other principals and administration looked at things? Yeah. He turned that whole meeting around, and I really thought he was going there for a free lunch.
Free lunch, yeah.
That was 10 years ago. In those 10 years, I've now covered just over 250,000 kids that I've talked to.
Whoa!
In every province across Canada, and this is all in Canada,
right?
And I this came in yesterday. I mean, I was floored, but this came in yesterday. Check this out. Do you mind?
No, not at all, man.
It says, hey there. I was a senior at Memorial Composite High School a couple of years ago. When I seen you talk, I had to take the rest of the day off and really contemplate my situation. My dream was to pursue musical theater at a professional level. My family was having none of it. That year, I had just been an usherette in the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Savoy Theater. So this would have been in Sydney, Nova Scotia. At the end of the year, I had an infection and went septic, which caused a bunch of mental health problems. I kept your card on my corkboard in my room. I just want to say that you were a friendly face and a reminder that I could overcome my health problems. I'm glad to say that I have. I'm also on the waiting list for medical laboratory technology. Because of you, I am always reminded of what my passion is, and that is helping people and music. I've played the fiddle since I could count, trombone in school band, and singing is also one of my outlets. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This came out of nowhere from a school I was at a year and a half ago. If you don't think that doesn't warm my heart, in this time of COVID where everybody's doing their thing, all of a sudden this thing shows up out of nowhere, and I just took a big deep breath and said, "Wow, my life is amazing." Right? I mean, I've made a difference to one person.
Self pat on the back, quite frankly.
I don't do it for me. The cards that I give out have a saying from Henry David Thoreau, and it essentially just says, if you can, knowing that you've made a difference in someone's life makes a life worth living. And so there you go.
Are you going to continue this? I would certainly hope so once this all clears up.
Well, I would like to think so. You're always at the different corporations work in different ways. This year, obviously, they've had to not give me the support that they've normally given me. First of all, because they're having their own struggles, right?
Oh yeah.
Second of all, there's no kids coming in schools. So when things do open up again, I would like to think that they would be back at the table saying, okay, all right, let's put it back into gear again. Who knows really what's going to happen within the corporation between now and then, right? They could, I mean, they could shift completely. They could say, yeah, you know what, Mitch, you did a couple of nice things, and we're happy that we were able to support you at that time. But now we want to support kids hockey, true, and that's a reality. So, I've been lucky enough that they've supported me for the last 10 years. For so many of my musician friends, my arts friends who have been suffering through this whole thing, I've really been given a wonderful gift, and of course my gift of Tony as well, right? Being that you mentioned our marriage, she's another person who's come into my life over the last 7 years that is just one more thing that I wake up in the morning and go, like, how many lotteries can I win?
Yeah, good thing you said that. She's right behind you.
Is she?
No.
Oh.
All right.
Gotcha.
Last question, and we'll let you go. Studio album? Anything down the road? Talks, even maybe.
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
In the beginning, I would have said that there was no possibility at all, for two reasons. One, when people come to Crash Test Dummy shows, they want to hear Superman's song. They want to hear they want to hear Coffee Spoons. They want to hear their favorite recording.
Right.
It was a wonderful thing. I was in Newfoundland. I went to see James Taylor, and it was a 3.5-hour show. And in the middle of the show, James Taylor, they had an intermission, and after the intermission, about halfway through the second half of the show, he said, "Hey, folks, we were sitting around my living room the other day. We wrote a new song. It's really kind of a good one. We're just going to play the one for you, and then we'll get back to the hits. I apologize." Right? He played the one song. Everybody clapped politely, and then they moved on.
Yeah.
So I don't know that.
Point.
What's that?
I said, good point. I mean, does McCartney really need to put out McCartney 3?
Yeah. Now, if people are receptive,
something new from the dummies, though.
Well, I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. The second reason is, apart from fans maybe not wanting to hear something new, and a lot of fans do want to hear something new, but we all live in different cities.
Yeah.
It's expensive to make a recording.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you've got a record company behind you, there's no real point in making a recording anymore. I mean, who's buying CDs?
No one.
Right. So to take on that expense to put out something new, when really people just want to hear the old stuff, we're kind of balancing that out. I'm not going to say no, because every now and again, droplets of creativity fall, and you kind of go, hey, you know what? This could be something. This could be something really cool. But there's been no real leaning in that direction. All
right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I hope all things work out well for all of us, but especially for you. I hope your health is good, and the creativity keeps flowing. And I would kill to have a studio like that, even though I only know 3 chords on a guitar.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I wonder if I know any chords on the guitar. Like Mark was saying, periodically, you pick stuff up and you just feel stale and stagnant. And
I always feel that way, man.
Didn't I just do this? Didn't I just do that? I don't know if I just did this or not. And then you go back. I go back and I listen to some of the stuff I've done over the last 7 or 8 years, and I go, okay, I've grown a little bit, right? I can play C and I can play C minor.
All right.
Yeah. Who knew?
There you go. Next thing, be smashing guitars on amplifiers.
There's a question from one of our viewers for you, Mitch. Okay. What was your favorite Dummies song?
A lot of people ask me that, and it's a difficult one to answer. First of all, because every night that we get out there and we have fans, maybe I have played these songs 3,000 or 4,000 times, but to our fans, it's their first time, and I grab that, and so every night, every song is my favorite song, because we really want to give her. Having said that, I would probably say when we're out there, and one of the last tunes we do generally is which is when we nail that song, it's great. Afternoons and Coffee Spoons is always, it's just, if we nail that one, like the energy is really high, and it's really a lot of fun to play. But to say that I have a favorite, it's really hard to say that is a favorite, because every song has something that really pulls me, whether it's, Mark on keyboards, who's got a section in it, and when we nail it, it's just like, wow, this is awesome. Or if I'm looking at Stuart, Stuart, our guitar player, he's just very in tune with what's happening on stage. So if we're all gelled, like, everything is like super awesome. I know it's kind of it's a vague answer, but it's the best answer I have.
No, that says it all.
It's a funny thing. It's like, I'm sure you have a favorite joke sometimes, but when you have a bit that just falls together and the crowd just loses their mind, that whole thing just kind of melts together.
I'll tell you, in comedy, what works in Weyburn might not work.
That's right.
In Prince Albert.
I'm a disc jockey mixing music together.
Yep.
I play a song and all of a sudden everybody goes crazy, and even I get excited about a mix. All of a sudden that's my favorite mix, and next week it's different. So.
Yeah, I John, let me ask you just a quick one on that. A lot of times when I'm doing my thing in schools, I find that sometimes the things that I would think would be boring and not funny are the least boring and the funniest things I could possibly say.
Absolutely.
You say them and then they kick off laughing, and I kind of go, really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just from my end of it, I get what you're saying. You do like your songs. You said you've played them thousands of times. Same with comedy. You have a certain set show, and the audience. This is why comedy doesn't work on Zoom or online. Corporate people call me and say, "Can you do a comedy show for our AGM on Zoom?" No, I have to, because it doesn't work. You need the energy. And so you're doing a bit that you've done a million times, and every night it can be different because of the interaction from the audience, right?
Yeah.
So what you think is mundane, someone might think it's a riot and steer you in a whole different direction, right? So you never know what the show is theirs. It's not yours.
It's alive.
It's in, and it becomes alive, as Mark said, So yeah, what you think might have been not funny, and these kids just lose it. And you're going, what? So
never saw that coming.
Yeah. So it's that's what keeps me going. It's going to be different every time, So, and I look forward to getting back on stage, as we all do.
We do.
Yeah.
We all look forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm in.
You guys in concert again. Remember, you're going to send me tickets for the next time you guys are playing in Winnipeg.
When did you arrange this?
Just now.
Well, So Mitch, if people want to know more about you and what you do, how can they find you?
You can go to mitchgeorge.com.
Okay, simple enough.
That's simple enough. And it's, every now and again, I want to know what I'm up to. So I kind of Google myself, and I learn all kinds of shit about me.
Yeah.
Stuff that wow, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I stopped Googling me.
Yeah. Oh, every now and again, we'll be driving somewhere, and Tony will say, "Let's learn something about you today." And then she'll Google me, and she'll say, "Oh, did you know that you were this? And did you know that you were this?" And wow, really? And it's really
just Google yourself till you need glasses, and that's it.
Yeah, Wikipedia is another one that's pretty brutal, because people can add stuff to Wikipedia.
Yeah, but you can override it and take it out.
Well, thanks, Mark, for that helpful hint.
But
so,
Mitch,
you're going to come back and visit us?
Anytime that you would like me to, you just send me a line and I will come. I hope I'm not too
when this
boring
is
for
over. When this is over, I would actually like to come out with a camera and hang with you in the studio for a bit, to do a segment for the show that way, and see exactly what you do.
Oh yeah, by all means. That's
last time we did the show in your house. It was on breakfast television. I don't know if you remember that. And that
was a
long time ago. And we had a young intern on the show, and she got quite embarrassed that morning. But you were pretty amazing, and your Juno Award, if I'm not mistaken, was a doorstop.
Well, it's here. I'll show you where it is now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's up here now.
And it was it was just amazing.
There, can you see it? It's up there now.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the artwork. That's great artwork.
Yeah, no, those are my kids. That's from their grade 2. This is I just found this one. I don't know if you can see.
Wait. What is that?
Can you see what that says?
No. Hold on. You're gonna have to tell me. What is it?
It looks like a horse.
Well, that's the Grammy nomination.
Oh, no way.
Is that
That's a Grammy nomination, man.
is that on a blow up doll?
Yeah, that's the Grammy. That's the no. That's
If he says it's a painting of his
little
mother, you're going to
Vietnamese-
feel like an idiot.
Say again, Mitch.
It's a Vietnamese
Where are ya?
clothing store in Gimli.
Oh, okay. Yep. There you go. Wow, the Grammy and the Juno in one room. That's the Grammy nomination. That's it. That must have.
Cool.
That must. I'm sorry. I thought this interview was over, but to get nominated for a Grammy must have just blown your mind.
Yeah. I really didn't know it at the time. At the time, it was because we were flying all over the place doing different things, and I don't really. At the time, it was just kind of like, okay, this could be good for business if we do this. What was really cool is I was sitting down and at the Grammys, and behind me, Chick Corea was sitting behind me, and to me, that was the biggest thrill of the Grammys.
Wow!
Is turning around and having Chick Corea standing behind me or sitting behind me, and I turned around. I remember I was, in a kind of an embarrassing moment, I just turned around and said, "Hey, you're Chick Corea." And he goes, "Yes, I am." And we had a lovely little chat. And
nice.
One of my childhood heroes.
Well, there you go,
That's
man.
right
All right. Well, listen, we'll let you go. We kept you long enough. Thanks so much, Mitch. It was an honor having you on the show, and we definitely will. Our paths will cross once again.
Okay, let me know.
Look forward to seeing you again.
Stay
All
healthy.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So there's a question for you, John.
Yes.
Who is your favorite comedian other than yourself?
No, I'm not. No.
Well, I'm my favorite DJ. I'm sorry.
current, like a contemporary comedian.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay, let's say contemporary. Let's now the people that are out there.
I don't know.
today,
I don't.
Is there anybody that you tend to like?
One guy that I'm really into now that I'm watching a lot of his stuff is he's passed away with Mitch Hedberg, and he is just his delivery is brilliant.
How long ago was he doing?
A few years ago, he died of
just
a heroin overdose. But his comedy is brilliant, Mitch Hedberg. And
But of all, like, let's go back through all the comedians.
Groucho Marx.
Groucho Marx,
without a doubt, he was the best writer, best ad libber. I mean, Robin Williams is a given. He was very good. He was awesome. But if you really want to get literary about it and intelligent about it, and I'm not saying the others aren't. Please, I don't want to hear that. Groucho Marx, his books are funny. He's got a couple of his books are in the Library of Congress in the United States.
did not know that.
And he's my first autograph I got to send in the stairwell downstairs on the wall from Groucho Marx. I wrote to him when I was grade 7.
Yeah, you were.
He was a great satirist. He was anti-establishment. He was just brilliant and a reactionary comedian. Like he could talk about anything without a script and nail it and literally drill you into the wall. There's so many. Steve Martin in the 70s.
Oh, I love Steve Martin.
He was the first comedian to sell out the Houston Astrodome. He brought stand-up back.
Yeah.
I mean, then he got to the level it is. Richard Pryor, Lenny Bruce. Oh, it just goes. There's no way I can say.
Delora asks, what about Jeff Dunham?
No.
Yep. See, it's again one of those things. Comedy, along with music and
Jeff Dunham's good. Don't get me wrong.
Movies,
but
it's a personal taste.
It's ventriloquist. That's great. He's very good. Don't get me wrong. He wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't. Just not something I get into totally. That's the stage I'm at right now.
One of the ones you were telling me about, who's pretty awesome, and I've got to admit, watch some of his stuff. Is the guy who plays Bert on Big Bang Theory, the giant guy.
Oh yeah.
He's an amazing writer. He also does
a metal band.
His own version of like nerdy metal rock, which is quite good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not my style of music, but it's like acid metal from hell.
That's about a good way to put it. Yes. So it's all subjective. One time I'm in the mood for this kind of comedy, one time I'm in the mood for this kind of comedy.
Absolutely.
So are we done?
I think so.
Yeah, I need my beauty sleep. Take a gander at those bags. They say Samsonite on them.
Let me just pull up next week.
We haven't even started next week, have we?
Next week, we've got Sherry Rehill. Sherry Rehill from Joining Hearts from the wedding industry. We're going to be talking about how COVID.
Yeah, okay. We have to talk about it because it's affecting so many people. I'm also having, I do believe, from out east, Chris Quigley who is an author of a children's book, Christmas children's book
Yeah.
that I happen to illustrate. So it's not self-serving, but he's also an excellent dog trainer, and he's a professional dog trainer. He's going to give us little tips on how to make
Sounds good.
your pooch not crap in your hat.
We've also got Teresa Molesky from Vancouver talking about when she has a little side business and how she's trying to make the world a little bit of a better place.
And we'll have the
Program.
usual film clips of
Yeah.
stupid stuff and us idiots.
Yeah.
So, as we say, if you have something you want to promote, because we're here for you, because the way
Yep.
people, small businesses are getting nailed, and we want to help
They
you.
are.
I don't want to make it a commercial, and we will make fun of you. That's just our nature. But we want to showcase who you are and what you are and this
Yes.
community. Okay, so there you go. La-dee-da.
And it's all about the love.
Yeah, whatever.
Aren't you just like
Did you shave your knuckles today?
Yeah, all four of them.
No.
And left my thumbs alone. I've got opposable thumbs.
That's amazing. And he's got a little tail. Hey, listen, thank you so much for joining us on Now What?
Now what?
That's right. We'll be back next Sunday night. You can catch us on YouTube and soon
On Shaw.
on Shaw Television. Good night, all.
Love you all.
What?
Side of town.
Is that Pam?